Is your child having difficulty with handwriting skills? Hi, my name is Greg Johnston, occupational therapist and CEO of Southeastern Support Care Services, and today I have great news for you. If you have a child who has handwriting difficulties, you may have the solutions for them in your home right now, and it won't cost you anything. Let me show you what I'm talking about. The first thing I want to show you is how you can use these two scrunchies and just a standard pencil to help your child put their hand in a better position for writing. So what I'll do is I will take the two scrunchies and then I will connect them like this. Let me demonstrate that for you. Okay, so what I'll do with these scrunchies is I will interlock them by putting one on one through the other one and then pulling it through like this. Okay, and then it makes two loops that are connected. All right, then what I'm going to do is on the hand that's actually doing the writing, you're going to just put that over the child's wrist, and you will rotate the second scrunchie into the position right behind the web space. All right, and then what you'll do is you'll slip the pencil in there, and when they go to grab the pencil, even if they don't hold it with like what we want to do with a tripod grasp, even if they grab it some other way, they are still going to basically get this rounded web space that I'm always trying to get with my students. You want it to be rounded. Tripod is ideal, but if they grab it with multiple fingers, it's probably still going to work out. Okay, so just by putting these two scrunchies together and giving your child the pencil behind the thumb, and when they grab it, they're going to be grabbing in a better position. All right, that's number one. My second tip is to scrap the full-size pencil altogether. Also, scrap full-size crayons. So you get a bunch of crayons. You may not have the heart to break your new ones. So maybe get some that are worn out and break those crayons down into little nubs. I've also done that with a pencil, and this helps to correct a lot of problems that children have with grabbing a pencil like a fist, or you see all kinds of different creative ways that a kid will hold a pencil, which is not the right way. But by giving them the nub, they only have a small amount that they can hold on to, and so again, even if they don't do it right, you got that rounded web space. All right, but a lot of times this is a correcting technique all by itself. The child picks up the pencil and they go to right there, boom, tripod grasp. All right, so that's a great little tool. I really like for kids to get crayon nubs and color with them, because the creative process, they don't have to follow a particular rule for how to form a letter, those kinds of things. They will develop a better hand position that will eventually become the writing position. So if you use nubs for crayons, it's really great. But I demonstrated with this pencil because that works well also. This is one of my favorite things that I've come up with. I'm sure other people have done it, but I started using this probably in the past year or so, and I've been doing this a long time. What I've done is I got a manila folder, and I cut it in half because you don't want the full length of the manila folder. And what you then do, what I did was I marked lines for a standard line on notebook paper, and I marked them right there, and I got a ruler and I drew a line across, and then I cut out the line. Okay, so what I do then is I take a sheet of paper, and I'm just going to use this notebook here, So I take a sheet of paper and I slide the folder across it like this, and I try to line it up so that you have one straight line there. And when the child writes there in that space, it really fixes the huge problem that a lot of kids have with oversized letters or their page being completely disorganized, where they're sort of writing all over the page, all over the place. So what you do is then they write on one line and then you move it down to the next line. All right, and actually the student can pretty much do this on their own. They just have to have a little direction in the beginning on how to make sure they get their lines straightened up. And you can do this with any size paper. So if you're using kindergarten size paper or first grade paper, whatever it's called, I'm not sure. If you're using the larger lines, you can make one of these with bigger lines. In fact, I had a teacher who's just done this recently, and it's great. It's a great teacher. And the other thing that I've done with this, as you'll notice, is I went ahead and took a black marker and colored around it, because my experience has been that sometimes the child might write over the top of the folder, but by having that black barrier, when they get across that, they can't see the writing, and it makes them stop anyways. So this is a great tool. Love this. Now, this is something you may want to use and apply with all of the other techniques that I used. It's just a standard notebook with a raised line. You might even want a thicker binder. This is just a 1.5 inch binder notebook, and you can use even a bigger one. What we're really going for in using this is getting the slant, because what happens when a child is writing and they're writing on a flat surface, they may get into some bad habits that can be corrected very easily by having a slanted surface like this. Okay, so by having a slanted surface, you can see that they go from having the hand flat like this. What you really want is this position. So being with a raised surface, it naturally pulls the hand up at the wrist, and when it does that, it creates that circular space that we've been talking about. So excellent tool. Let me show you how you can actually combine a couple of these things that will work out great for you. All right, if you use a couple of rubber bands, what you can do is you can take your rubber band and put it across your notebook like this, and you may even want to put a second one there, because sometimes one is not enough to catch. Once you've put the rubber bands on there, you get a sheet of paper and you slide it underneath there, okay? And so it holds the paper in place while your child is working. And then if you combine that with this folder, and of course this paper that I have it doesn't have lines, but you can use it with any kind of paper, okay? So what you can do then is you get this set up and you write here, and then you can slowly start moving your paper up. So you adjust as you go until you get to the bottom of the page, and then it's done. Okay, and those are my tips. Most people have these things around their house, but even if you don't, and you need to go out and pick those up, I mean, you're talking, a couple of dollars at the most. It's not much. Apply these with your child. You will find that as they use some of these techniques, they will have better positioning. So their mechanics for writing will be better. They will also have a more organized approach to how they write, so that their letters come down to a normal size, and there's a systematic way that they work down a page. Okay, so that's it for today. You guys have a good one, and thanks for tuning in. If you are getting value out of this channel, could you do me a favor and subscribe and hit the like button? It's really encouraging to me. Thank you.